Hey girl, welcome back to the podcast. We are episode 230. I don't even know. How did we get here? I'm Lindsey Nickel, and today I'm coming at you with some serious tough love because I'm about to call you out on your own ish and on the story that you've been telling yourself about your journey. If you've been walking around going, why me? Why do I have to deal with this? Why do I even bother trying to recover? Then sis, this episode is your wake-up call. Because I'm about to flip that victim script and ask you the question that is going to change everything for you. So buckle up, grab your journal, and get ready for some truth bombs that are going to shift from poor me thinking to powerful me living in the next 15 minutes. Let's do this. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsey Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in the destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. It is hot out today in the VA. It's like 100 degrees outside, and so I figured it's the perfect time to come in here and talk to some of my ladies and record a show for you. So that's what we're doing right now, and I am loving it. I am on one. I just got off of a wonderful coaching call. One of my current clients that I'm working with, she is really stepping into her identity that is away from the eating disorder voice and thoughts and all the things. And so it really just got me thinking about talking about identity today in a way that is going to have you asking yourself a different question. Really, it's a game changer. So speaking of things being hot, I'm going to come at you hot for a hot minute because you've been the main character in a story that you absolutely hate. And you wake up every morning and the first thought in your head is about food, your body, how much you weigh. You spend your days calculating and restricting and obsessing and then beating yourself up for doing all of those things. Am I right? I mean, I feel like I'm talking to a past version of myself because I absolutely am. And somewhere in the middle of all that mental chaos, you start asking yourself questions like, why me? Why do I have to struggle with this? Why can't I just eat normally like everyone else? Why do I even bother trying to recover from this? I'm never going to get better. What if I'm the exception? Like, what if I'm just too far gone? Sis, ladies bring these questions to me all the time. And here is the truth that I just wanted to share loud and clear on the show today. You are literally writing yourself as the victim in your own life story and then getting mad that you're playing the victim role. You're taking little clips and you're taking moments from this journey of your life, the hard days, the relapse, the weight gain fears, and you're making it mean that you're doomed and you're too far gone and that recovering from an eating disorder isn't possible for you and that somehow different from every other woman who has ever walked this path, it's not going to happen for you. But here's what I need you to understand today. Your past and current thinking is driving your entire life. It's driving your life. And how's that working out for you, girl? Let me hit you with some facts that are going to blow your victim story out of the water. According to the National Eating Disorder Association, 60 to 70%, these are updated facts. I think I used to say 60% all the time, but 60 to 70% of people with eating disorders make a full recovery. And the Journal of Clinical Medicine published research showing that with proper treatment, recovery rates can be as high as 80%. So this means that the majority of women who struggle with what you're struggling with right now, guess what? They get better. They don't just manage their symptoms, they become free of them. So here's my question for you. If 60 to 70% or even 80% of women recover from eating disorders, why wouldn't you be one of them? Why not you? And this is the question I asked my client today in session. We were talking about a couple of different things. And in the middle of session, she said, well, I don't know. I mean, why me? And it got me thinking, but why not you? You know what I hear from ladies all the time? Lindsey, you just don't understand. My eating disorder is different. I've had it longer. I've been dealing with it more than anyone else. It's probably more severe than any other clients that you have. I've tried so many things. I hear all of these things. And friend, I have said all these things. Here's what I want you to stop doing. Stop making yourself special in all the wrong ways. Every single woman that I have worked with and am working with currently has thought that she was indeed an exception. Every single one has thought in some capacity that she was either far too gone, too damaged, too stuck. And you know what happened when they stopped playing the victim in their own story? They became the hero. And that doesn't mean every single day you're Captain America, but 1 Corinthians 10:13 says this: no temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. You see, sis, your struggle, it isn't unique. Your pain, it isn't special. And your recovery, it's not only possible, but it is probable. The odds are forever in your favor if you stop telling yourself that they're not. Let's dig a little bit deeper into what's really happening when you ask the question, why me? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. That question isn't really about seeking understanding. It's about staying comfortable in this identity you've created to keep yourself safe. When you ask, why me? Guess what you get to do? You get to stay stuck without taking responsibility. You get to avoid the scary, which I totally get it. I totally get why we're going, why me? Like, I just don't know if it's for me. I don't know if I'm able to do this. Why me? But you get to keep this mask on that the eating disorder thrives off of. You get to not risk weight gain that terrifies you. So of course you're asking these questions, okay? This is not a judgmental podcast episode. But let me ask you this. Who are you not to overcome this? Like, who are you not to be in that 60, 70% who recover? Here's something that might make you uncomfortable. The story that you're telling yourself about your eating disorder, you chose it. You're taking the facts of your life. Yes, you have an eating disorder. Yes, recovery is hard. Yes, you're scared of gaining weight. And you're choosing to make those facts mean that you're going to be here forever, that you can't recover. But what if you took those same facts and made them mean something different instead? Okay, so here's the fact. I have an eating disorder. That could mean I'm ready to heal. Recovery is hard could mean I'm doing something brave. I'm scared of gaining weight could mean I'm about to break through my biggest fear that I've ever faced. Sis, the facts don't change, but the story that you tell yourself about the facts, that 100% is your choice. And right now, your default, this is what I call the default identity, is the woman with the eating disorder. Every morning, your brain boots up like a computer with your operating system. And of course, you're going to have eating disorder thoughts. This is your default setting. That's how I like to think about it. But what if you changed your default setting to recovery warrior, for example? What if every morning your brain booted up with that identity instead? A recovery warrior doesn't ask, why me? Or why has this happened to me? Or how could I ever recover from this? Or why do I even bother? A recovery warrior asks, why not me? She doesn't say, I can't do this. She says, I'm doing this. A recovery warrior doesn't make herself the victim in her story. She makes herself the hero. The why not you reframe is what we're gonna put on you today, girl, as you navigate the week ahead. Because instead of the questions of why not me that take you down that rabbit hole spiral that give you nothing good, I want you to start asking different questions. Why not you to be fully recovered by this time next year? Why not you to have a life where food and thoughts about it don't chain you anymore? Why not you to actually accept and maybe even love your body? Why not you to be the woman who inspires others with your own journey? Romans 8:37 reminds you of this. You are more than a conqueror. You are not barely surviving when you have this mentality. You are conquering. So here's what I'm going to love you enough to tell you. You've been playing small in your own life, and I'm just not going to let you do it anymore. Coach Lindsey is coming in for the kill today. You've been so busy being the victim of the eating disorder brain and the default setting, girl, that you forgot you could be the victor. So I did an episode, it's episode 48. The victory is yours, sis. Discover the 6 choices that you can make today to move from victim mentality to victor. And I absolutely, this is one of the top listened to shows on the podcast. You'll have to forgive me because it was a couple years ago when I first started podcasting, but you'll want to go listen to that show. It is all about what we're talking about today and shifting that energy. Because here's your reality check. You've been so focused on why recovering isn't in the cards for you or why it won't work for you and all these negative default settings that you've never fully committed to making it work. You're not broken. You're not too far gone. You're not the exception to all of the statistics that are out there. I love you and I think you're unique and I think you are God's masterpiece and I think you are incredible, but you are also one decision away from changing your entire life trajectory and quite possibly a generational change in your family. The women who recover, they aren't special. They aren't stronger. They're not smarter than you. You know what they're doing differently? They're deciding to stop making themselves sit in this mindset and they're starting to make changes for their lives. And they're doing that in advance because here's the real truth. When I was going through my recovery, I wasn't ready. It wasn't just like I raised my hand one day and said, okay, I think I'm ready to go work with somebody to get to be a healthier version of me or to be better. No, I wasn't ready. I had to decide that I wasn't going to do this anymore to myself. And I want you to decide in advance that you are going to recover. Not I hope, but I get to. Not maybe, but I will. Write it down. Write it down right now if you can. If you're driving, totally come back to this. But I want you to write it down. I am a woman who is recovering, and recovery is my new identity in the season I'm at. Every morning when you wake up and your brain wants to go into default mode with those eating disorder thoughts, I want you to remind yourself and interrupt that pattern. That's not who I am anymore. I'm a warrior now. And recovery warriors, they don't think like that. So I'm not going to think like that. When you change your thoughts, you actually change your identity. And when you change your identity, you can change your story and the direction of your life. And let me give you some more fuel for this fire. Studies show that people who believe in their ability to recover, _believe, are 3 times more likely to achieve a full recovery. And women who reframe their eating disorder as something that they're overcoming rather than something that they have show significantly better outcomes. 85% of people who complete eating disorder treatment maintain their recovery for the long haul. Do you want to know why some people recover and others don't? It's not because they're special. It's because they just decided that they weren't going to be in the percentage that didn't recover. I clearly remember this, and I believe I've shared it on the show a couple times, but I remember sitting in my doctor's office and her being like, Lindsey, the statistics do not lie, but there's hope. You can change this in your life. You can choose. And I remember going back and thinking to myself, am I a statistic? Am I one of the 40%? Or maybe at that point in time, it was 50% of people recovered and 50% didn't. I'm not sure. Treatment has gotten better and better with the years that have passed. But I remember thinking to myself, I am not that statistic. And sis, you're not either. You're not a victim. You are a recovery warrior who is actively choosing healing. You are actively growing instead of staying small. You want freedom. And if 60 to 80% of women recover, then can you choose to be in that majority? Why not? Why not you? Listen up. If this message is hitting you right in the heart and you are finally ready to stop playing this victim mentality in your own journey, then it is time to take action. That is the biggest thing women come to me for. They're like, Lindsey, I feel I'm ready to do this, as ready as I'm ever going to be because I'm not really ready, but I want to get support and accountability. Sis, I want to personally help you shift from that why me energy to why not you energy, because you can step into this identity. You can head over to herbestself.co right now. You can fill out a client application to work together with me, because here's the thing. You can keep doing this alone, and you might actually recover from doing this alone. In fact, I am sending you all of the vibes. You can binge my show, take everything that I share with you, and you can go and apply these things in your life. I hope that you do just that. At the same time, when you're by yourself and you get those victim type questions that pop up from your default setting, and you're finding yourself maybe coming a little bit forward and then a little bit backwards and then getting stuck with the same results, this is because sometimes when we try to hold ourselves accountable, it's really hard to rewrite our story by ourselves. And I specialize in helping women just like you stop making themselves the exception and start making themselves the example. So my clients don't just manage their eating disorders. They completely transform their relationship with food, with body, even with their husbands and their kids, but most importantly with themselves. Recovery is not just possible for you, it is probable for you. But you have to decide and you have to choose and then you have to act. So stop asking yourself, why me? And start declaring over yourself, why not me? Because your future self is waiting for you to jump. And lastly, I need you to hear this just one more time. Something in my spirit is telling me that I just need to share it. You are not broken, friend. You are not too far gone from repair. You are not the exception to the rule. If when I share the statistics with you, your immediate default setting is like, well, I'm probably in that 30% or I'm probably in that 40%. This is just a setting in your brain that you've lived in for some time. And there's no point of judging ourselves for being negative. There's no point. But you can change this. Why? Because you're listening to the show. You want change. You really, truly do, or you would not be listening. And maybe you just forgot your power right now. And that's okay. But now you can remember, and now you know that you have the power for your future. So stop making yourself this main character in this story that you don't even want to play a part in, and start making yourself the hero in a story that is going to blow your mind. Your eating disorder has had you for years, like by the chains, and it doesn't get to have your future. That belongs to that recovered self that you are stepping into. Sis, I will see you Friday with another episode. Until then, this is your homework from today's show. Keep asking yourself, why not me? When that default setting comes on for you and you're just like, I don't think that this is going to be a great day today. I think I'm finding myself restricting. I'm trying to control all the things. I'm going for a longer walk. I just want to get better, but it just feels so heavy and it feels so hard. And this is not for me. Why not me? Why not me? It is for you, sis. Keep choosing recovery one decision at a time. And flip this question, because you've got this and I believe in you. All right, girl, I'll talk to you real soon. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.